Good evening, everyone. I am Anshuman Sindhibekara, a second year undergraduate student and a member of CyBox, the official robotics and automation society of NITR. Welcome you to this webinar on entrepreneurship in the drone industry. We will starting the session quite soon, so everyone is requested to join as soon as possible.
So can you able to share the screen? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you able to see my screen?
No, sir.
It's already shared. I have already shared my screen. I think you have to pin this thing. People can't able to see my screen. Can you able to share my screen? Like I have already shared it. Yeah. Now
Uh,
be able
we
to
have
see my presentation.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So
Yeah.
I'll introduce everyone, so we can start.
Sure.
We have on board today Professor Ayaskan Swain, professor in the ECE department of NITR and the faculty advisor of Cyber. He is a pioneer in the field of electronics, especially in VLSI design and embedded system. His current research focuses on system on chip design using open course design technology. I welcome sir to give a brief note about the webinar. Sir, please.
Hello.
So there is a
Hello.
network issue, that is why it's having some problem. Yes, sir. So there's some
Uh,
network issue, that is why this having some problem.
sure. So I'll start with the presentation then because his voice is not audible. So
Just in the last few years, humanity has seen great tech advancement in technologies, from the creation of smartphones to all electric cars. Technology is advancing at a faster pace with every passing day. One of the most commonly used technology is are drones. It opens to the path of rapid technological boom. We are very privileged to have Mr. Sundareshan N as the speaker for today's session, who has at around 5 years of diversified experience drone industry. He is the founder of Aerostat and has always worked extensively on classical drone firmware development, embedded AI, and swarm drones. I welcome Sir to start the webinar and share his screen along.
yeah,
Sir, please.
sure. Yeah, I'll take over from here. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on entrepreneurship opportunities in drone industry. And I'm Sundaresan. I have a vast experience in drone development and uh, technologies, and I've been doing research on embedded AI and integrating artificial intelligence with the drones. And I'm a good at training people and giving instructions uh, and helping people to develop their own drones and so on. Now, I'm currently working as a Chief Drone Instructor at Tech24 Aviation, which is a unit of HR Tech24. I'll talk about that company, our company, in a few minutes at the end of this presentation. Let's directly get into the webinar. Now, I hope you guys can able to see my screen. So I have divided this webinar into four parts. I'll talk about the entrepreneurship, and I'll talk about drone technology, and I'll merge these two things together, and we will do a case study, and then I'll show you the next steps. What do you have to do uh, when you want to get started? Okay. So at the end of this webinar, you will know about why you want to choose entrepreneurship, how, where, and what to start, when to start, and I will give you a drone industry overview, what it is about, and you will learn about a little bit of drone basics, and what are the technical skills as well as management skills you need in order to become a successful entrepreneur. And I will show you a case study, and the case study is about whatever the presentation we are going through till the end. Like at the end of the webinar, I will merge all this learnings into a case study, and I'll show you what what the actual company or entrepreneurship will look like in real life. And I'll talk about challenges and regulators a little bit, and then I'll talk about my company. So, why entrepreneurship? Why do you have to choose entrepreneurship? First of all, it is to make your life as well as someone else's life easy, and it gives you a freedom of lots of choices. Like you are your own boss, and you arrange your time on your terms. Like you want to work on your time, on your schedules. So it is a kind of lots of wealth creation opportunity you will have once if you get into entrepreneurship, because you have a full freedom to choose what to do on your own time, right? And which creates an it is to impact people's life to become an independent and strong uh, mentally, as well as provide society or community whatever they get back in order to create an impact. And finally, it's for people who wants to take serious responsibility. Okay, if you wanted to work for someone, so it is like half of the responsibilities down. So when you want to get started, it is a very huge responsibility. Like you have to sacrifice lots of time, money, energy, and so on. But when you enter into it and you pursue this for next 1 to 3 years without expecting any result, eventually you will end up with lots of money. Money is a like it is a byproduct you will get for pursuing entrepreneurship. You don't have to focus on money, so it is for passionate people. Okay, so let's see where and how to start entrepreneurship. Okay, when you know you have a specific skill that solves an important life problem, now what you have is an opportunity to create value. So what I mean, like, you will everyone will have lots of skills, technical skills as well as management skills, administrative skills, right? So your skill is used for solving some problems, so what you're providing is a solution, right? So now when you able to give a solution for a problem, now you have an opportunity. So all you need is an opportunity to create value for someone else. That is all it will take. Okay, you need a good problem to solve, and you need the right skill sets, and what you have now is an opportunity to create value for the society and people. So this is where you can start. The problems are everywhere. We have lots of problems around us: environment problem, political problems, society problems, like technology problems. Everywhere we have lots of problems. Okay, so choose a decent problems which you have the specific skill to solve, and you have an opportunity to create some value. Okay, so now you have found an opportunity, a decent problem to solve. Now what is the next step? What do you have to do? You have to work to create a system. Like for next 1 to 3 years, you have to work only for creating a system. What is a system? System is nothing but a company. Like it will have uh, all these departments, from marketing department, sales department, finance, and so on. So we you have to create a system which works on uh, without your presence, right? Even if you're not there, whatever the things you create, the business you create, it should actually work on its own. So that is a system. So I'll talk about system, how to create a system in upcoming slides. And you need to optimize and define business process. Business process is nothing but a step-by-step instruction, like what if this happens, what do you have to do next, what do you have to do next, like that. So you have to optimize and define business process. So you have created value, from where the value actually, how the value flows from different sectors and between your team, within your team, like that. So and you need to define your key performance indicators. I'll talk about this later. Key performance indicator is like uh, simply take it as a analogy. Like your company, in order to find if your company is healthy or not, is that running on peak performance, or the efficiency, everything is fine. So you need to verify and cross check with these key performance indicators, which are nothing but just the numbers which we extract from cash flow statement, income statements, and balance sheet, and so on. So the key performance indicators shows the health of the company. Whatever you create, it will show you, are you heading in the right direction or not. So and then you have to create the business plan, because once if you have created the value, and you know your market, and you have to start creating business plan from there onwards. We will talk about this a lot in upcoming slides, but let's so you wanted to scale and expand for growth. So this should be the final thing. Like after 3 years or 4 years, you have to plan for scaling. and expanding your branches and so on. Scaling is nothing but you should be able to operate for a minimum group of customers. Like say you wanted to shift for some place outside of India, you wanted to do a business and you wanted to go there, but you have a very small amount of market, like a little bit of customers. So you should know how to scale down or scale in, like scale up your business and deploy different branches for growth. Okay, it is after 3 or 5 years later. You don't have to focus on scaling and expanding your business as you start. So let's talk about how to create a system. What I mean by system, it is a company. Okay, system, it takes some input and it gives you output. That's what we know in computers terminology. But think about as a company, what is coming inside your company and what is going out of your company. In that way, you have to design your system. So what are the things, like you will be putting some money inside and it will be producing money outside. It is a byproduct, but actually you're creating some values for solving a problem. That's the system is actually the companies. So first important thing is you have to know what is the solution you are providing, the value you are creating, and it should be easy, simple, and low cost, and highly efficient. It depends on the technology or business you're getting into. Okay, so make sure you have the value. And so next we wanted to get clients. So is that right procedure to directly go and do a marketing once after the value has been created? No, absolutely not. Once the value has been created, you have to do a market research. How many people are ready to buy your solution? Like, what is your market size, and what are your market segments? What is your market strength? Like, you wanted to analyze. This is a phase called a market research phase, where you have to research, is there a clean demand for your solution? How many people exist in the market to buy your product? Are there any similar competitions available, or who are they and what they are doing? What is your uniqueness compared to their products and solutions, and so on? You have to do a market research before doing the marketing, because marketing is a very big process. We have lots of types in there. Like, we will do a digital marketing through social media platform and so on. But before doing the market, do a market research and know who's your client. Because simply take it, like, you have a solution, right, some for some problem. So find the people who and all having that problem. That is they're going to be your client. Okay, get the clients, do the marketing. Marketing is nothing but grabbing the attention of the right customer. Okay, and third, you have to focus on growing your company. This is all parts of a system I'm talking about. This is going to go in a flow. Okay, first you have to create value, then you have to do a market research, and then you have to do the marketing. Now you're in the phase 4, like sales. Make more sales. Okay, we are doing some giving solution, and we are taking a value exchange for money. So that is a one form. And there are lots of values exchange, not only money. Like, you can exchange network, you can exchange partnerships, you can exchange um, knowledge, and so on. There are different forms of values. So money is a thing which we use to measure the performance as well as growth of your company, and how much economic contributions it makes. Okay, so next, after creating more sales, what you will end up with is you will end up with lots of customers. So you have to manage all your clients. You will have uh, like, it is all client relationship, how you manage to manage them to come back to you again for the value you provide. Okay, so it can be a business to business or a business to consumer. So the managing clients is a very important. And once if you are all ready to go, like, you have to focus on finance and meeting the investors. So finance, money is the oxygen. Take it straight to the point. Money is the oxygen for any startups, any companies. So have a plan for bringing money. Okay, so you should because a early stage startup dies because of lack of money. So this is a very important. Find a customer who pays to solve their problem for your skills. Okay, so now what you have is a system. So you have defined the workflow, you have created value, you have done you know your market, you know how your sales plan is going to work, how you going to approach your client, and how you going to manage them, how this value is going to be delivered, and bringing more finance. Like, you can bring finance by getting a loan from bank or meeting an investors. Okay, so when you define the workflow and the business structure is now defined, well defined, you know these five important things. So the business is now well defined and it has a very good structure. So what you now have is a system. So you know what to do next. So this have to be the things you have to do it again and again and again in order to grow your company. So you will keep on optimizing these things. Okay. Next, I'll talk about elements of business process. So, business process is nothing but a documentation which every companies will have. It defines who does what, how, and when, where, like that. This kind of informations will be present inside the business process documentation. So, it defines what will happen, if else statements. If this happens, I will do this. If this happens, I will do this. This kind of things will be present inside the documentation. And we wanted to know company's internal and external workflow. So within the company, how your organization is structured. So who creates the value, who delivers the value, who does the marketing, who does the sales, who does the finance for you. So you have to keep this five important elements of system in mind. So you should know how the work is flowing between each and every persons inside the team. Okay, so it is all defined in the business process. Okay, and the external workflow is like customer management and partnerships, or any other organization partnerships and so on. So how are we going to communicate with the external uh, organization? And so, for example, like, who creates the value and who delivers the value, that kind of process have to be well defined. So once, if you have a basic business process, you have to frequently optimize, keep on optimizing, because you will keep on updating this every day or every week, like that. So you should know where the problem will arise and what to do next. Okay, you will be prepared to take actions. That is what the business process is about. Okay, now we have completed what the entrepreneurship is all about, and how the part of entrepreneurship is over. Now I'm getting into drone industry. Okay, I'll talk about a little bit technical as well as the overview of drone industry. So whenever you take a drone industry, we have a manufacturers, we have assembling units, we have service provider. Okay, these are the three important um building blocks of drone industry, I can say. So it is all from my own perspective. So manufacturing, the people manufacture like motors, the different drone components, drone systems. I'll show you what is that. And we have assembling units who procures this manufactured items. And and they will assemble the things, and they provide these guys are like, they provide drones, and they are also kind of manufacturer. And service provider is nothing but they are not into manufacturing or assembling. They use the existing drone and they will give solutions for different companies and peoples. Okay, so they are the applications providers. Like, for example, drones are used in agriculture, spraying and so on, right? So those people will not focus on building the drones. Instead, they'll focus on getting the drone and using that for spraying the agriculture field and so on. So decide where you want to get into. Well, or you want to get into manufacturing, or you going to want to get into assembling and selling the drones, or you want to get into service providing. So before get on selecting where to enter, you should know about lots of things. You need some technical skills and management skills in order to enter into any industry. So let's talk about drones. In drone industry, we build drones, right? So drone systems consist of the list of this things I have listed here. It will have transceivers and GCS system, that is nothing but ground control stations, which is communication part with the drone. Okay, so it is used for command and control of your drones. And what we have is the next autopilots and flight controller, which is nothing but the brain of the drones, which actually does the computation parts and sensors, so on. And we have electronic speed controllers, brushless motors, and propellers, the frame, the whole body, which holds all these components together. And we have a battery, which is for powering the drone. And apart from that, we will have a certain specific payloads for different applications. So the payload can be anything, a camera or any other sensors like lidar sensors and so on. Okay, whatever the drone actually carries, like if you're carrying a humidity sensor for weather forecasting, so that humidity sensor will become a payload there. Simple as that. So if you take any one of this component outside of a drone, it will not be a complete drone system. Okay, if you take a motor, you cannot able to build a drone. So each and every component, there are lots and lots of commercial drones available, like we have a DJI and lots of products available, like professional builders also there. Like they used to build their drones using from the scratch, and lots of researchers also do that. But whenever they wanted to do anything, they need all these components. Okay, so if you decide you want to get into manufacturing, so you have to choose that what components you're going to manufacture. Okay, and if you are going for assembling, that is a different thing. It is based on the application of a client. You will be building a drone. And if you want to provide service, simple. If you're getting into agriculture spraying systems, so you need a sprayer drone in order to provide service. Clear? And based on the drone systems, I have personally classified these things into three things: fixed wing, multi-rotor, and hybrid. So each of this drone is having its own pros and cons. So the hybrid drone, the one which you are seeing here, it is a combination of both multi-rotor and fixed wing drone. So the major advantage is it can take off anywhere and it can land anywhere, as well as it will have a high endurance. That means it can fly for a long time. Okay, so that is a very very good advantage compared to these two drones, because multi-rotors have it can also able to be you can take off anywhere and land anywhere. But the disadvantage is the power, the endurance. Okay, but you have a fixed wing which can take off anywhere. Like you need a very large space for takeoff and landing for this kind of fixed wing UAVs. You cannot easily take off anywhere and land anywhere specifically, like specific GPS locations and so on. So but it will have a high endurance. You can fly for a long time and long range also. So um, in order to get successful, I told you need the technical skill as well as management skills. I'll talk about what are the technical skills you need to get into uh, entrepreneurship. Before getting into entrepreneurship, these are the needs. You should be very good at electronics and circuit designing, and you should be good at embedded systems, and you should have a vast programming expertise like C, C++, Python, because these are the major three programming languages used in drone development and firmware development and so on. You should be comfortable working with the Linux operating systems and microcontrollers like AVR. AVR microcontrollers might, it is easy to get started, but eventually you will, because most of the drone flight controllers and things are built using the STM32 processors. So it has a lots of series of processors. You should know how to work with the STM32 processors mainly. And it is like an Arduino development board is available. So where you can easily buy one for like 300 or 200 rupees, like, and you can get immediately start development. And you should have a very good knowledge about integration of drone, how the things fit together, and what are the calibrations and troubleshootings you have to do if something goes wrong. You should know each and everything, what will happen next, and you should have a proper documentation, as well as you should know uh, how to fly this, how to tune this, and how to do various calibration process involved in drones. Okay, so this is a overview of technical skill, but it has a very I have given you the very basic overview. You have to get very deep into these things. Okay, all the skills will definitely will pay you. And management skill, this is where co-founders, if you have a company, if you're starting a company and you have two different co-founders, one can do a technical part, one can do a management part. Management, it is all about people skills. Okay, social and people skills. So you should be able to create systems, you should be able to work with the business plan, you should know how the finance terms, numbers, and you should document the business process, and you should define and optimize your key performance indicators. Key performance indicators, it is all like health meter which shows where the company is heading, or is that heading in the right direction, how fast we are going, or what is the growth rate compared to the competitions. Okay, and for example, key performance indicator can be used like this. Say you have a drone production unit, and you have produced lots of drones. Say you have produced 1,000 or 10,000 units of drone, but you don't have that many customers. Okay, and you have a very a small client base, yeah, like 50 or 100 customers. What you have to do is you should use the key performance indicator to see what is really going on, how many productions has been done, and you have to decide, okay, the production has gone extreme, so I have to stop the production immediately and have to focus on getting more customers and doing the more sales in order to balance my company. That is where the key performance indicators will help you. So that is one example, but lots of things can be used uh, done using key KPIs. Okay, so coming directly to the points. So I told you this opportunity is nothing but when you solve a problem, the opportunity is there. Okay, you what you have now is an opportunity. So what is the problem? I'm defining the problems what we are having in this field. Majorly the components whichever we are using, it is all mostly the imported components, the drone system components. It is all electronics, any electronics or anything, it is mostly from China or any other countries. So what we need is we need pure manufacturers who can able to make the Indian made components. It is like a made in India, so we can promote our economic growth, as well as our we can contribute directly to our community and our people. So it is a one very good yeah, very few manufacturers out there, or even they are in, even in initial stages. So Indian made components will be a very great high in demand. So that is a one problem. And we have other opportunities, like you might have seen people already using this drones for photography purpose, like they'll use this for wedding and real estate purposes. And next biggest opportunity you have is a drone delivery system, because lots of e-commerce industries, like inside e-commerce industries like Amazon, Flipkart, and these kind of very big players are going to use drones for delivering. It is going to happen within next 5 to 10 years. It is all going to be fully operational. So it is going to create lots of job opportunities, lots of pilots, and we need lots of drone technicians. We need uh, programmers, developers, lots and lots of people are going to work in drone delivery, because not only e-commerce, it has a lots of like medicine delivery is also there, hospitals, every sectors will use this. So, and commonly you can see lots of drone companies are doing survey and mapping using the drone. They collect data using the cameras, 4K cameras, and they'll collect lots of images, and they'll stitch all these images together, and they will make maps, and they sell the maps. So that is a one form of value. And some companies are using these guys are service providers I'm talking about. So drone delivery can also be a service provider, as well as survey and mapping is a service provider, visual inspection, that is a service provider, agriculture, visual inspection in the sense uh, say you want to do inspection of a wind turbine or a solar panel, or any gas, uh, any pipelines on so on. So you wanted to do a visual inspection, that is an opportunity. So the agriculture field, the next is a very important and attractive field is agriculture, because I'll show you a case study on agriculture, what how the drone can be actually used. Okay. Keep it in the mind, this drone delivery and agriculture is going to be the very biggest things in the next decade. Okay. So whoever enters yearly into this two business, they will be a very big players in next 10 to 15 years. Okay. So agriculture, let's do a case study. Okay. So let's take agriculture. What we have also one problem, like we have a labor shortage for spraying the pesticides, and farmers or themselves using spraying the pesticides and so on, pesticide, insecticide, or anything, any medications for the plants. Okay. So it is harmful for them, as well as uh, labor shortage, that is a very addressable problem. It is a real life problem. So what you can offer is using a drone you can do. Why do you have to use a drone when you can able to do it manually? Because that's where the value comes in. So labor shortage is solved because drones can be deployed in n number of, like hundreds and thousands of drones across country, and it is very fast and it is very robust. So it can save 90% of cost for the customers, like farmers. If nowadays they are paying because labor is shortages, that means the labor is in high in demand, there is a high demand for labors, right? So what if we replace the labors with a drone? That is where we are entering. So we are reducing the cost. Say if labor is high in demand, they will be charging, like say for a 1 acre or 2 acre, they'll be charging 500 rupees or 1000 rupees, like that. Okay, for spraying. But if we use a drone, uh, we can do it at 90% cost effective, like say 50 rupees or 100 rupees per acre, and you can cover hundreds of of acres within a day, but manually it will take lots of time to cover that much of area. So it saves time, it saves water also. So you have to directly use a pesticide, like there is some ratios are there. You don't have to use much water, because directly the pesticide concentrations can be increased and the droplet size can be decreased. In that way you can do a save lots of water. So who can be your customers, who you want to manage? You have to find a way to uh, get into farmers. Farmers are the your customers, and farm producers, farmers, they are the customers who has these problems. So we can see farmers everywhere. Even in my street I can get a 10 or 20 farmers. So you have to find a way to market your service. Like if you have a spraying drone, you have to find a way to market. Let's say lots of channels are there like Facebook or Twitter and so on, but you should know uh, in which channel you can get access to more farmers, because not all farmers are using or have the ability to understand what is Facebook and so on. So next you have to forecast your sales plans as well as finance plans and so on. Okay. So the challenges you will face, like technology barriers, or like the flight time and transportation of your drone to the field and so on. And this will be some kind of challenges you will face. And you will have personal barriers like family situations you will have to before getting into entrepreneurship. And challenges will be competition. If someone is already into the market, you will surely know that market exists for you, but you cannot able to get more shares of the market. Say already there is a company which is providing farm service, spraying service, and they have been in this business for the last 1 to 5 years, and they have captured the 90% or 80% of market. Only 10% some other companies will be doing, so you cannot easily enter. So that will be a very great challenge. That is where you have to do a market research about the competition and your strength and weakness. Lots of techniques are there. So, and you have to keep an eye on regulators like DGCA. For technology, for every technology, each and every technologies, like they will have regulators. They provide the guidelines and regulations, rules and regulations we have to follow. So you should know who are your regulators. For drones it is a DGCA, uh, uh, like that. Okay. If you are going for pesticide you should know who are pesticide regulators. Each and every components elements will have their own regulators. So if you don't know who are your regulators initially, don't worry. You just start your company and start providing value. They will come to you. What I mean is, like, if you don't know who are your regulators, if you're doing your work and you're in your field, they will come and find you. Like, this is a thing you should not do, and this is where you have to get permission and so on. That is where how you can kind of reverse engineer and get into knowing the regulators. Okay. So going ahead, like uh, develop technical skills, very important. Whenever you want to get into any entrepreneurship, technical entrepreneurship, develop the specific technical skills and find what really motivates you. Is that a passion, or is that money which actually motivates? Because if it is a money, I told you it is going to be a byproduct anyway. But if motivation is money, so you will not get succeeded. It should be a passion. Okay. And you should master one skill which actually pays, and repeat doing that skill, like solving that problem, lots of problem, okay, using that one skill. And develop a product or service around your skill, and build a system to automate all this process. That is where you will be hiring a right person for your company, I mean the system. So marketing will be done by this guys, and so on. And once if you're having a good revenue and your expenses are very low and you have a good profit, so you should plan for scaling your business across countries. Okay. And that is where you will need a business plan, where you will be heading, and that is when you have to meet the investors. Lots of people personally see, they have the stages, like even in the idea stage they are not clear. They go forward, create a business plan, and they try to meet the investors, but that is not a right way. What you have to do is you have to build a system and you have to build a business plan around that, and then you go meet the investors, so you really know how much money you need to get from investors and invest in your business. Got it? And by saying all these things, we are about to close this webinar, and here is a small promotion about our company. uh, So HR Tech24 is a parent company, which we have two divisions. One is the Tech24 Aviation, which actually deals with the drones and aviation, where we provide trainings and development, skill development for engineers, graduates, and researchers, and so on. We provide drone courses from Tech24 Aviation. And this webinar is also sponsored by this Tech24 Aviation. And we have a one more division, which is a transnational institute for intelligence and counterterrorism, where we deal with security personnel, and we provide trainings and training and development for security professionals. And it is a completely different thing, like intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance courses, and so on. Okay. So we located in Calcutta. And from Tech24 Aviation, we have 7 courses currently. It is all drone courses I'm talking about. So these are the 7 modules we have designed. So it takes you from a very beginner stage to an advanced stage. Like if you take all these courses together, say you can able to finish all these courses within 30 days. So you will have a very good, strong understanding of what the drone technology is, and so on. So the first module is drone foundational course, where you will learn about the basics of drones, like payload calculation, thrust calculation, how to design a drone. And second stage, we will eventually go get into autopilots, like using the open source and closed source autopilots. We will develop autonomous drones, which flies without any pilot input, because you will be planning the flight plans. And third module, it's a drone development and application programming course, which we teach how to develop drones and program it. Say, here is a one case. If you want to deploy your drone from here in US, what you can do, like, can you able to control your drone from anywhere in the world? If you take this course, you can able to do that. So it is like giving an internet access to your drone and deploying some applications. So we will teach you how to develop such kind of applications for specific applications. Like if you're developing a swarm drones, you need to know how to program that drone, right? So this course is a very advanced, so you need lots of knowledge before getting into programming course. And eventually we will get into drone operation maintenance, where you will know how to maintain logbooks and drone records, assessment and industrial inspection. This is a skill which is used for delivering industry assessments and inspections, carry out inspections like wind turbine inspection. So you don't have to directly go for the field in order to do that. We have something called a very special simulator called SimLat, which is used for providing such kind of training. Okay, you don't need even drone. You can create any virtual scenarios there, and you can take a real-time training of industrial inspection and so on. So next, module 6 and 7, it is a drone forensics. It is for security professionals. It is like incidents response and so on. So if you have any questions or any queries, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I have made the link here. So follow me or connect with me and drop your questions there. In my free time, I'll answer those things. And if you want to know more about our company, so you can visit droneandsecurity.com and join our Telegram channel for upcoming events like this or any other courses. We'll be posting, keep on posting on Telegram channels, so you can join our channel also. Okay, and thank you everyone for your valuable time, and I hope you have learned a lot of things in this webinar. Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, thank you, sir, for this wonderful webinar. I hope the students got to know a lot of things, lot of useful things from this webinar. We have some good questions in the chat box. I will be streaming those questions. I hope you can answer.
Yeah.
The first question.
Do we have any questions? They can
Yes,
connect.
sir.
I think they
Yes,
can connect with me on LinkedIn, so I can personally answer them.
sir. Like
How
this is a
can I?
short Q&A session, like for 5 minutes only. You can see.
Okay, I got the first question here.
Yeah.
How can I start a successful business with drones? What brands are best, and what companies do I need to contact during initial times to offer my service? So this is where uh, you have to need what business you want to do, like what skills you have, and who is ready to hire you for that skill. You have to find that person first. That is, they are going to be your first customer. So how can I start a successful business? I have given the answer now. So what brands are the best? Every brands are the best. Okay, there is no such thing which brand is the best brand. Okay, it also has its own pros and cons. We use the different brands for different products and so on. So this is uh, my view on brands, because I don't recommend any brands personally. So uh, you have to be very clear with what is your research requirement, what is your expected outcome, your desired outcome. Based on that, you can choose any brands on any components. So you can contact any companies or any, like, for your initial offer, like that is how I can interpret your questions, like what companies do I need to contact during initial times to offer my service. Yes. So uh, it depends. If you're doing a agriculture drone business, you have to contact agriculture companies. Okay. If you're doing a survey and mapping, and you should contact with constructions and mining companies. So it depends.
Okay, sir. As we are running short of time, we'll take just one more question.
Yeah. How can drones be used in long distance transport in an economic way? Very good question. So this is where we comes with a hybrid drone. So VTOL, I showed you one category. So it can be used with the two ways. You can power this drone using two ways. One, use a standard battery power like lithium polymer and so on, and the second way is use the hybrid power, which combines the battery power with fuel power. So if you give a fuel like a generator, onboard generator in the drone, you can able to fly this drone for longer and longer distances until the fuel is drained. So long distance transport in economic way, that is a economic way. Use the fuel cell. The fuel cell is an advanced thing, but you don't have to go for that. uh, you can go with fuels as well as batteries initially, in the initial stages of your business. So long distance, only one problem is like telemetry communication, how the communication can be established with a drone. So in that way, there is a thing, you can connect your drones with 4G or 5Gs in upcoming days, so you can able to communicate with your drone. That is where I have mentioned the courses, like different courses covers different things, right? So one of the thing is we do in that courses also.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
During the starting of the presentation, we couldn't have our faculty advisor, AK Swang sir, due to some network issues. He is here now for giving the thank you note to Sundareshan sir. Sir, I
yeah.
request you to take this question. I
Again we
think
have
there is
a
some
problem,
glitch
audio
also.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, we can't avoid these network issues. Sundarshan sir, thank you so much for joining with Cyborg and giving a wonderful presentation. I hope many students are influenced by this webinar and will connect to you directly on your LinkedIn profile. We will also be sorting out to you for your help in our various projects. Thank you so much, sir, for
Sure,
taking out the
sure.
time
Thank
to.
you.
With
Thank you.
this, we
Thank you,
come to the
everyone.
end of
Take
the
care.
presentation. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Sir.